A transfer of rulership is coming, and the kingdom of heaven will be on earth. Righteousness will be spread throughout the whole four corners of the earth. Wickedness will be put down.
The Lord promised better things for us, okay? Because the Lord, Yahweh Bashem Yahushua, has a favorite people. And he's going to give this favorite people a heavenly kingdom. A kingdom that's blueprinted and formatted and patterned after his mind. How he want a kingdom to be.
Consider the lilies, how they grow. They toil not, they spin not. And yet I say unto you that Solomon in all his glory was not arrayed like one of these. If then God so clothed the grass, which is today in the field and tomorrow is cast into the oven, how much more will he clothe you, O ye of little faith? And seek not ye what ye shall eat or what ye shall drink, neither be ye of doubtful mind. For all these things do the nations of the world seek after, and your Father knoweth that ye have need of these things. But rather seek ye the kingdom of God, and all these things shall be added unto you. Fear not, little flock, for it is your Father's good pleasure to give you the kingdom. Sell that ye have, and give alms. Provide yourselves bags which wax not old, a treasure in the heavens that faileth not, where no thief approacheth, neither moth corrupteth. For where your treasure is, there will your heart be also.
A transfer of rulership is coming, and the kingdom of heaven will be on earth. Righteousness will be spread throughout the whole four corners of the earth. Wickedness will be put down.
All right, Shalom.
Shalom.
First and foremost, we would like to give all praise and glory unto Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahushua, Ba'ashem, Kakadash, and double honors unto the apostles and the elders of GMS who rule well, teach well, being great examples to his younger brothers. And peace and blessing and salutation to the hopeful elect out there pushing his word and truth and in sincerity across the four winds in the name of Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahushua. Pushing to get up out of here. Shalom to the hopeful elect, the believers, the listeners who may have came back to the obedience of the scriptures through faith in Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushua. All right, and what we're going to get into today, this morning, is dealing with Philippians chapter 4. You know, the peace of the Lord Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushua. Okay, now when you go into this chapter, you know, which we know Paul, you know, had a very close relationship, all right, with the church of Philippi. Okay, which was a Greek city-state, you know, named after Philip, all right, the Macedonian, the father of Alexander. Okay, and there was Israelites there, and there was a church that believed, you know, and they was real active, you know, when it came to helping out Paul in his ministry, you know, and they were known for their faith, you know, their financial support, you know, and their maturity in the spirit. Okay. So the Apostle Paul writing this letter, you know, he's writing it, you know, to them, you know, as close, you know, friends, okay, and fellow yokemen in the faith, okay. So let's go here. You start at verse 1.
Kind of Philippians, chapter 4, starting at verse 1. Therefore, my brothers and sisters, stay true in the Lord Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushua. I love you and long to see you, dear friends, for you are my joy and the crown I receive from my work.
Yeah, because he said you are my joy and my crown that he received from his work, you know, because the true joy, you know, the men, the sincere men that the Lord has set up, you know, to see you brothers, all right, and you know, a few sisters that sincerely believe, in a good state, in a good mindset, understanding what you're a part of. There's worth more than money, for the believers to understand what they're a part of and have a single mindedness towards Yahweh Bashim Al Shai. Okay. You know what it is. You see, understanding, what's at stake. Okay. Having the mindset to, be ready to lose, even to die, for Yahweh Shai if need be, making this, our everything. So our crown, okay, is the edification of the church, which is far better than money because we know this leading to eternal rewards. Okay. Yes, bro.
Because it said, you are the crown I received for my work. So Paul knew the mission. He knew the importance. He knew that it wasn't them specifically, but it was the work he was doing. It was the ministry, and they were part of his ministry. But he understood the way he was saying, "You are the crown I received for my work." From saying, I know I probably paraphrased it wrong, but that's what he was getting into. He knew that through doing the ministry and do sacrificing for you, how about Shemal Shai, he had faith in that crown. To show you they had faith in that crown even back then in these times.
Mm-hmm. And he was using it, as symbolic, symbolic crown.
Mm-hmm.
The growth of the church, was his symbolic crown for the ministry. What you had? You got it, bro.
God. Verse 2, it says, "And now I appeal to Edura
Yep.
and
Sintichi,
please, because you belong to the Lord Yahweh Shemal Shai, settle your disagreement."
Yeah, so I guess it was two women in the church, I guess they had fell out by some. So Apostle Paul is like, look, whatever it is, squash that shit. You got it, bro.
"And I ask you, my true partner, to help these two women, for they worked hard with me in telling others the good news.
So here.
They worked along with Clement and the rest of my co-workers whose names are written in the book of life."
Yep. So, these sisters were in the faith. Okay. And you go to go to Clement real quick. All right. And this isn't a green light, for women, to go out and teach. Okay. Because they wasn't, full-fledged teaching. All right. But so you go to this word Clement in the Greek. All right. So you go into it says Clement, it says mind, all right, mild, merciful, and that's the characteristics of a teacher. It says a companion of Paul and apparently a member of the church of Philippi, according to the tradition, he is identical, all right, with that Clement who was the bishop of Rome towards the close of the first century. So this Clement, all right, he was the one teaching, all right, and those women, had to be assisting, Clement, as he, was teaching, all right. So it was Clement that was actually doing, all right, the teaching, as a leader, of a church back then, all right, and those women was assisting him, all right, because a woman, a woman that's off will look at this, and say, well, that's the green light to teach. No, said they wasn't teaching, okay, they was assisting, all right, Clement, during the ministry. All right, you got it, bro.
God. It says, "Always be full of joy in the Lord Yahweh Shemal Shai. I say it again, rejoice."
And say, always be full of joy in the Lord. I say it again, rejoice. And see, the Bible, when the scriptures speak about a comfort, a comfort, all right, is a state of mind, okay? Because you can be comfortable exteriorly, but then the Bible gives inward peace and the inward comfort, okay? And it's a peace and a comfort that this world don't give. And our joy is in seeing the Lord perform his work. That's our joy. You see, we get the joy out of seeing Yahweh Shemal Shai doing everything that he said he was going to do. And we understand what it's leading up to. Okay, the truth has made us visionaries, man. So as we see the Lord doing everything that he said he was going to do, Okay, that's our joy. Our joy is in Yahushua, seeing the Lord do a marvelous work in the earth, man. The fact that we've raised up, the fact that Esau Edom is coming with the sea hill, like all these things play a part in our joy because we know what it's leading to, man. You know, you can say something.
Con, can you get Habakkuk 3:18?
Habakkuk 3:19.
Con. You believe in NLT. It's Habakkuk chapter 3 and verse 18. It says, "Yet I will rejoice in the Lord. Yahweh Shema Shai. I will be joyful in the Most High in the power of all my salvation."
Mm-hmm.
So the word salvation, they say it could be, we know what salvation is, but like you said, I rejoice in Yahweh Shai. I rejoice in seeing, like, we getting closer and closer. Like, the Lord is actually doing everything. Like, he's always done it, but he's doing everything he's telling us that's going to happen. And it's playing out mirrorly exactly to how he says it's going to play out.
It's leading to the salvation. Mm-hmm. Everything is leading, because what is salvation? It's deliverance from harm. Mm-hmm. You know? So everything that we're seeing is leading to that great salvation, because the main thing is we got to get out of here, man. You know? Mm-hmm. And then Paul's going to go into go deeper into the letter, you know, and this is our focus. Okay? Everything else that we do outside that doesn't pertain to salvation is just something to maintain our situation until salvation, man. You see, we're beginning to be having that single eye, you know, what the scriptures say, towards salvation, man. Mm-hmm. And like I say, and that's the only joy we have, man. Okay, the Saints, winning the Super Bowl. Okay, that's not our joy. Mm-hmm. Okay, your favorite player, winning MVP. You see, your cousin finally opened up, that nightclub he been talking about. Well, those things are not our joy. Mm-hmm. Okay, our joy, all right, the thing that gives us that inward joy comes with things pertaining to salvation, man. Mm-hmm.
I got something for you.
You got it, bro.
I looked up the salvation here in the Hebrew.
Page 3468. Yeshua. Yeshua.
Yeshua.
Second entry.
Let me see the word.
Yeshua.
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 Yeah, Yeshua.
Yeshua.
Yeah.
Okay. It's just to back you up what you were saying. I'm gonna read the outline and then I'm gonna read the lexicon. It says deliverance, salvation, rescue, safety, welfare, prosperity, salvation, or victory. When you drop down to the lexicon, it says salvation, primarily physical rescue by the Most High.
Yep.
And we know that's gonna be through Yahweh Shai. Yahweh Shai, Yahweh is gonna give Yahweh Shai the okay, to go ahead and crack them clouds and come through. So that this backing up brother when he was going into that salvation, like I said, primarily a physical rescue by Yahweh by Shem Shai. Mm-hmm. Brother, you can't just think you're gonna get you a dual citizenship. Mm-hmm. That ain't by Yahweh by Shem Shai. So our only salvation, our only rescue, and then going back to this rejoice, is in Yahweh by Shem Shai.
Come on, bro. You saw verse 5.
Verse 5. Let everyone see that you are considerate in all you do. Remember, the Lord Yahweh Shema Shai is coming soon.
Go ahead.
Don't worry about anything. Instead, pray about everything. Tell the Most High what you need and thank Him for all He has done.
Yeah, and this is a heavy precept, to think upon, in times of, doubt, distress, because it says don't worry about anything, which means don't be anxious of anything, because the scriptures, is big about us, not, worrying. Okay. Now, of course, we'll be proactive, handle our situations, but there's things that's above us that, look, we can't worry about, man. The spirit of Yahweh is not the spirit of worry, and the Lord puts us in a situation that pushes us to pray. You know, a lot of situations that the Lord will put us in, all right, will be the sake for us to come to Him in prayer so He can show that He is in that situation. You know, so when we're in situations, as the scriptures say, don't worry about anything. Well, there's nothing that can't be fixed, you know, with prayer and faith. Okay? Because we're coming into a time in Jacob's trouble where that's all we're going to have. You know, we're not going to have, you know, the phones, not going to have Bibles on us, man. We're going to have, you know, prayer and faith in us, man.
Mm-hmm.
Okay? And we're going to be in a situation to where, hey, we can't panic. All right? A lot of people getting ready to take the C-hip and bend the knee based off panicking.
Mm-hmm.
Okay? Worrying. You see? But nah, man, we can't worry, man. So the Lord puts us in these situations now, you know, these frantic situations for us to act calmly in these situations.
Mm-hmm.
Okay? And trust in Him.
Gone. So,
Yeah.
and me, I get them this. Like the scripture says, you know, you're supposed to pray without ceasing.
Mm-hmm.
And I look at it like a spiritual muscle. You know, if look at you know the greats, Michael Jordan, Kobe Bryant. You even look at today, Stephen Curry, whatever the fucking name is. You know, like it's muscle memory for him to be able to shoot a basketball and then to go to the other end and have that confidence that he know.
Mm-hmm.
You know, but when he first started shooting, I'm damn sure he wasn't doing that.
Nah.
You know, and to bring it really back in the spirit, like that prayer is when you first start praying, it's gonna like you gotta build that confidence up in prayer. Like you gotta pray, then you know the Lord gonna move and the Lord gonna try your faith when you start getting into things.
You're gonna keep trying.
Mm-hmm. And as you continue to pray more and more, you begin to the confidence begin to grow. You begin to see the Lord work real time. You've seen the Lord work real time.
Mm-hmm.
The point is, if you just start praying in the time of trouble, you ain't went through having patience. The Lord is a man of patience. You ain't went through just sitting there waiting on the Lord. You didn't do all of that during the time of the grace period. So now you gotta try to do all that in the time and try to learn all these things you're supposed to do in practice, if that makes sense.
Mm-hmm.
So now you're in the game, you out there bad.
Yeah, you gonna be out there. You gonna go for you gonna go for what you know.
Mm-hmm.
And it's trusting in this system. You know, and then you go to the latter end of the precept. It says, "Tell the Most High what you need and thank Him for all He has done." So that's an appreciative spirit, you know, and it's something that I try to tap into more and more. You know, that spirit of appreciation. You know, because it's easy to it's called a negative bias. You know, to where the mind, you know, will shift most of its attention, you know, to being to negative things, you know, negative events, you know, negative, you know, accounts. Okay. But then it'll forget about the good. So we have to have a mindset to be appreciative of all the goodness that the Lord has done, you know, and not to harp on, you know, negative things, you know, having this, just an appreciative mindset, you know, towards Yahweh Shem Al Shah, man, because we're in a good state, man. We're in a good case. You look at how people are suffering, you know, even here in America, this first world country, you know, all those compilations of people complaining and the layoffs and not being able to, you know, make it to debt, you know. People are suffering, man, and the Lord has us in a good space, man, you know, and we should be extremely thankful for that, you know. You got it, bro.
Come on. Verse 7, it says, "Then you will experience the Most High's peace without exceeding anything."
Yeah, which exceeds.
Which exceeds anything we can understand.
It said, then you will experience the Most High's peace, man. There's a peace in trusting our power. There's a peace in being at one with the will of Yahweh by Shem Al Shah, being fully submissive to their will. There's a peace, and there's levels, you know, to peace, man. You know, and as we really engulf ourselves and immerse ourselves more to Yahweh by Shem Al Shah, man, there's a peace that exceeds anything that we can understand, because this world doesn't offer that peace, man. Once you get it, finish that up.
Mm-hmm. It says, "His peace will guard your hearts and your minds as you live in Hamashiach."
Yeah.
Yahushua.
And I always go back to The Last Dragon with Bruce Leroy, and he was saying make peace his shelter. He kept saying that. That was like a mantra he had. He would say to himself in, times of when he was in the clutch, make peace his shelter, man. So peace is a shelter and it's a defense. It says it shall guard your hearts and mind as you live in your house, Shah Masayah, and see peace. All right. When we in peace, peace lets us know anything that ain't right because it'll disrupt the peace.
Mm-hmm.
You see? So peace can be an indicator. That's why I like to say it can be a guard, because if you have a guard dog, well, what does that guard do? It warns you of something foreign or strange, okay, that it's not familiar with. Okay, peace will do the same thing. Anything that's not in line with peace will let you know like this ain't it.
This ain't the place.
So peace is an actual guard. Well, that's why we were speaking earlier about Jake, falling away from the nigga woman because Jake done found peace even in the world. Jake done found peace, and anything that's a disruption to that peace, all right, a lot of Jake ain't dealing with it. So going into it, how much more us as we found peace in Yahweh Bashem Al Shai, okay? And anything that's not in line with that peace, it begins to get cut off, okay? Be prioritized very low, man. You see?
It begins to disrupt the spirit.
Mm-hmm.
It begins to become a hindrance in the spirit. And when things become a hindrance in the spirit, I've learned that it's best for me to just deal with that. Meaning that me cut things off that need to be cut off. Because if you have that number, regardless, it's predestinated. Whenever the Lord showed up and had to handle business, it never turned out good. Whenever he had to get involved and cut something off, it always, I've been through that part too. Like when the Lord had to get involved, and this is I'm gonna cut this out. Because like you're going out to these other people, like we have the number of operators are. Other people are expendable to the Lord. So other people, the Lord will use other people to teach. What you say?
We expendable.
God.
We gotta keep that in mind. Lord toss our ass out, and it'd be like we never was. You see, that's why we've got to have that constant appreciation, and we should be proactive to where, because whenever you're working for someone, the less of a hassle you are, the more, you'll appreciate it. You see, whenever you're working with people that are in authority, people that are over people, they are more fond of the people that they don't have to get involved in a mess. Like you always got to jump in and solve the shit they got going on. See, so we want to be in a position where we don't want the Lord to have to always jump in on this minuscule shit that we got going on. We want to be proactive in this shit, to where we're running, because each man is like their own kingdom. Okay. So you want to run your kingdom to where the Lord doesn't have to always come intervene on the minuscule shit. It's certain things the Lord sets up for him to intervene to show that he is. But then there's certain things that he's given us the tools, the wisdom, the resources to be able to handle shit to where he doesn't have to always get involved in every little thing. Because if you in a position of authority and you have people like that under you, then it becomes a nuisance. It's like, goddamn, I can't get shit done for trying to always untangle your shit, So, we have to understand that we expendable too. So we should have a mindset to be proactive. To like, look, I want to be on point in this. Well, the Lord ain't gotta intervene, and jack the situation up just to get me, But you got to read that on St. John 14:27.
According to St. John chapter 14, verse 27, I am leaving you with a gift, peace of mind and heart. And the peace I'll give is a gift, and the world cannot give. So don't be troubled or afraid.
Yeah, so Yahweh Shai left us a gift for the peace of mind and heart, and that's belief in the kingdom, man, a rulership, a forever rulership. Okay, that's peace. That's why I said we're not tripping on the right now. We got forever to do everything. So we're not tripping on the right now. Okay? The right now doesn't even matter compared to what we got coming. So we got a peace of mind. You know, we're not tripping on money opportunities that we miss. Okay? We're not tripping on events that we, have missed out on and don't go to in this world. We're not tripping on, this woman we could have had or that woman, wish we had time for that. No, we're not tripping on that because we got everything coming and we got forever to do everything, and that's a peace of mind. We good. Let's go back to Philippians.
John, good.
Mm-hmm.
Verse 8, it says, and now, dear brothers and sisters, one final thing. Fix your thoughts on what is true and honorable and right and pure and lovely and admirable. Think about things that are excellent and worthy to be praised.
Yeah, and basically when you go into this is being, having that tunnel vision on right things, man, on things that are pure. The Lord is building the kingdom, and there's so much positive, things that we can focus on in the truth, man. Okay, we'll address, particular things in the world. We'll address things about, that's going into other camps. But nah, man, we should have a tunnel vision, a single eye, and the truth, man. And I pulled up, because when you go into tunnel vision, it'll it'll go into it, but it speaks about it in a negative way. But then I just looked up the benefits of tunnel vision. Now it says in a general sense, um, hold on. So when you go here to the benefits of tunnel vision, it says in a general sense, tunnel vision carries a negative connotation, suggesting a lack of broader awareness or rigid adherence to single perspective. However, when strategically employed as a tool for focused attention, it can offer benefits in specific situations. Potential benefits of focused tunnel vision, strategic focus. By directing your mental resources towards a single task or goal, you can work more efficiently and produce higher quality results. So that hyper focus, when you're hyper focused on something, it shows in the results. Whenever you're hyper focused on anything, it's going to show in the results on what you're hyper focused on. Okay, so Apostle Paul was like, look, think of on these things, man. And pretty much block out the rest. That's why in the truth, man, it's about blocking out, things that don't matter and focusing on the things that do. And this improves what productivity, makes us more efficient in this thing, man, because we're not wasting energy. We're not spread all over the place doing this and doing that, got that going on. No, we're focused on this. Okay. So this called strategic, focus. All right. And if you're a king, you have to be strategic. Okay. What's a king without strategies, man? It says enhanced clarity. Filtering out distractions allows you to clearly identify your goals and steps needed to achieve them. Okay. So it says filtering out distraction, because when you're strategizing and planning, you need to be focused on the strategy and the plan itself. All right. Things that have nothing to do with the strategy or plan, it just excess, So the truth teaches us to filter out the excess, man. Filter out distractions, you know. Even in the book of Luke, you know, Yahweh Shai, says that don't be what overcharged with what's fighting, okay, drunkenness, the cares of this world, okay. It says reduce stress and overwhelm. Focusing on one task at a time can help manage a chaotic workload and reduce the feeling of being overwhelmed. So when you're having that tunnel vision, okay, and you're focused on you have a lot, you might have a lot going on. Well, all you need to focus on is what's in front of you. Okay, focusing on what's right in front of you and what's needed to get to the next step. You know, trying to do 20 things, okay, at one time, all right, can create overwhelm. But trying to do one thing right to get to the next phase, then you begin to break down those 20 things into something that's doable, you know? And it says increase mastery and skill development. Okay, increase mastery and skill development. Consistent focus, attention on a particular area allows for deeper learning and the development of expertise. For example, in software engineering, immersing oneself in a particular technology can lead to a deeper understanding of novel solutions, you know, and this Bible, this our expertise, So when it comes to the Bible, whenever you have your focus and your attention on the scriptures, whenever you're able to have a consistent regimen of going into the scriptures and going into the backdrop, going into the history and going into the things surrounding the scriptures, well, what happens is you become a mastery. Okay, you increase in your mastery and skill development. Okay, to you're able to teach. Okay, at a different because you have given yourself fully unto these things, man. Okay, so this is going into being tunnel vision. See, when you're tunnel vision, it takes sacrifice, man. Okay, because everybody not gonna understand. It says achieving goals and deadlines. It says a single minded focus on the goal can help you stay on track and meet deadlines without getting sidetracked. You see? So there's benefits to having a strategic focus, or what they call a strategic, tunnel vision. There's scriptures, all right, to back that up. So let's go here. Uh you had something to say, bro? All right. So when you go here to the book, I think that's First Timothy chapter 4. Um, yep, go start at 14.
First Timothy 4:14. Do not neglect the spiritual gift you received through the prophecy spoken over you when the elders of the church laid their hands on you.
Yep. So we, being given a gift, through hearing His word, which this word that we have today has trickled down from the apostles and elders, which they received from their elders, and they didn't have to physically lay hands on every brother, all right, but in the spirit, through their teachings, they've laid hands on the church, okay, and then we have this gift, through Yahweh Shemal Shah. Go ahead.
Mm-hmm. It says, give your complete attention to these matters.
Oh, give your complete attention to these matters. That sounds like tunnel vision. That strategic focus. All right, read the rest of it.
Throw yourself into your task so that everyone will see your progress.
Oh, throw yourself into your task so everyone will see your progress, man. Okay, because if you're hyper focused on anything, people are going to see your progress, man. Whether it's losing weight, working out, learning the Bible, okay, learning a new skill, learning a new language, whatever it is, if you throw yourself into it, everyone gonna see the progress. Okay, so we're commanded to throw ourselves into this, to immerse ourselves in this book, man, to immerse ourselves in Yahweh Bashim Al Shai. Give our complete attention to these matters. You read verse 16.
It says, keep a close watch on how you live and on your teaching. Stay true to what is right for the sake of your own salvation and the salvation of those who hear you.
Yep. So keep a close watch and take heed on how you live, all right, and your teachings, what we're teaching, because what we're teaching should line up with how we're living. Okay, and says stay true to what is right for your own salvation and salvation of those that hear. Okay, because this word, all right, that we're teaching is going to the believers, and the believers are being edified. Their faith is being solidified through these teachings, man. So let's go here with Yahweh Shai. Then we go back to Philippians. All right, Luke 21. All right, yeah, you read that.
Luke 21:34. It says, "Watch out! Don't let your hearts be
Dog,
dulled by
carousing.
carousing and drunkenness,
Mm-hmm.
and by the worries of this life. Don't let the day catch you unaware."
Yeah, so Yahweh Shai is letting us know, going back to the worrying part, because worry can be a distraction. Because if you're worrying, you can't have tunnel vision. You can't have that strategic focus if you're worrying, because worry is going to occupy, space in your mind, and said, don't let the day catch you unaware. Yeah, because people are not aware that the Lord is right here, that the judgment is right here. People are not aware, you know. People have a mindset of like, this just another year in Babylon, one of many. Okay? Well, now, man, the time to come, the judgment is here. And if you're not having this focus on prophecy, if you're not focused on the things attaining salvation, man, these things can walk up on you, okay, like a thief. That's why Yahushua say he was going to be like a thief. You got it, bro.
It says, like a trap, for that day will come upon everyone living on the earth.
Go ahead.
Keep alert at all times and pray that you might be strong enough to escape these coming horrors and stand before the Son of Man.
Yeah, and if you're not focused, okay, and Scripture tells us to be circumspect because the days are evil, then you're not even seeing Esau set this trap up around you, okay, while you're living your day-to-day, chilling and kicking it. You're not even seeing a trap that's being set up around you, man, okay, which is the digital prison, man, this digital system, okay. What you got? You go verse 10.
Verse 10, it says, "How I praise the Lord Yahweh Shema Shai that you are concerned about me again. I know you have always been concerned for me, but you don't have the chance to help me."
Yeah, you didn't have the
chance to help me.
Yeah, go ahead.
Now that I was ever in need, not that I was ever in need, the water. I have learned how to be content with whatever I have.
And so Paul was in a situation, and the Philippians didn't know about it. Church of Philippi didn't know about it, so they didn't have the opportunity to help. But Apostle Paul was like, look, I was good. I appreciate it. I knew y'all would have helped, but I'm good. I was good, because why? He has a peace within, and see, peace, all right, brings calmness, okay, in tribulation. So Apostle Paul, like, I was good, he wasn't in a position of want, go ahead.
I know how to live on almost nothing or with everything.
Yeah, so Apostle Paul, he good in either way, whether he has nothing or with everything. Okay, go ahead.
It says, "I have learned the secret of living in every situation, whether it is with a full stomach or empty, with plenty or little."
Yep. So Apostle Paul, he said, look, I learned how to live in every situation. And what's the common denominator in every situation? Go ahead.
"For I can do everything through Hamashiach who gives me strength."
Yeah, so he knew he had Yahweh Shai in every situation. Whether he had plenty or whether he had little, Yahweh Shai, was keeping him, man. He had everything in every situation. Okay, go ahead.
"Even so, you have done well to share with me in my present difficulty.
Go ahead.
As you know, your Philippians were the only ones who gave me financial help when I first brought you the good news, and then traveled on from Macedonia. No other church did this.
Go ahead.
Even I was in Thessalonica.
Yeah, Thessalonica. Even when I was in Thessalonica.
The water. Even when I was in Thessalonica, you sent help more than once.
Go ahead.
I don't say this because I want a gift from you, whether I want you to receive a reward for your kindness.
Go ahead.
At the moment, I have all I need and more. I am generous. I am generously supplied with the gifts you sent me with.
What is it? Epaphroditus.
Epaphroditus. It's like they are a sweet smelling sacrifice that is acceptable and pleasing to the Most High.
Go ahead.
And this same power who takes care of me will supply all your needs for his glorious riches, from his glorious riches which have been given to us in Hamashiach Yahushua.
Go ahead.
Now all glory to the Most High our Father forever and ever. Amen.
Go ahead.
Give your greetings to each of the Most High's holy people, all who belong to Hamashiach Yahushua. The brothers who are with me send you their greetings.
Go ahead.
And all the rest of the Most High's people send you greetings too, especially those in Caesar's household. May the grace of the Lord Yahweh Shem Yahushua, so I can may the grace of the Lord Yahweh Hamashiach be with you, be with your spirit.
And you even had, Jake, in Caesar's household that believe, so the believers are everywhere from all walks of life, So that's the point. We want to get into that this morning. Lord will, you brothers, all right, and you sisters are edified. Till the next time we say Shalom.
Shalom.
Kwam Yashala.
Kwam Yashala.
Bob Soon. Shalom.
Bob Soon. Shalom.